Yep. Good evening, everyone. So last session, I given a simple overview on what is new about TypeScript classes. So some new things about TypeScript classes. In TypeScript class, we have one option is about access modifiers are there. We have three access modifiers: public, private, and protected. And we have static and non-static members are there. Non-static members. So difference I told you, static for continuous memory and non-static is for discrete memory. And TypeScript related class members are same. So class members, what are same? We have properties, we have method, and we have a constructor and accessor. What is new? New is nothing but the class members, properties, methods, constructors, they have type. That means what is the new about class member is property is defined with type. Method is defined with type. Constructors can be defined so using parameter type. Methods can have parameters type. So properties, methods, constructor, you can say they are all strongly typed. They are all strongly typed. So that means one simple point I will show here in this TypeScript project. So we have a simple type. Yeah. So when you configure the methods, usually this is property and its type. Methods also defined with the type. That means we have a class demo. Suppose the class is having so public. So there is a total. Total is a method, but it should return some number. Then usually what happens? A is of type number. Suppose I said some quantity is of type number and price is of type number and return type is also number. Like this we define. If return type is number, it should return this dot, it is just quantity into price. It should return a number. Like this we define. That means when you write a method inside a class, you need to configure its type. This is important in future if you are using class components in TypeScript. Already we know that we can have function component or we can have class. If TypeScript is having a class component, then the methods must be defined in this way. For example, if any method we have public, suppose any method is not having a return type, then it should be marked with what? Void. You know the void. And you can configure anything inside. This is the difference that you will find in the class properties and methods. The data type is important for that. That is simple point to understand. There is nothing change. And class inheritance and class polymorphism, all are same like JavaScript. Already in JavaScript OOP concept, you have learned inheritance and polymorphism, they are same. There is no change. Class inheritance, class polymorphism, all are same, no change. One additional thing is there, that is abstraction. Abstraction is one important concept. What is abstraction and why we need abstraction? What is the concept of abstraction? Actually, in object-oriented programming, in OOP, we use generally in object-oriented programming, we use code level security by using a concept called templates. We use templates. In object-oriented programming, we use template. What is a template and how it works? Actually, template comprises of features which are need to be implemented. Actually, template comes with some features already implemented, and few need to be implemented. This is the point better. That means actually the concept is this: template comes with some features which are already implemented, and few we need to implement. That means, for example, this is very rarely in general concept. I will tell you where templates are used, where we use the templates. Actually, I hope you people know we have projects. In software projects, actually, we have projects in software companies. We have different types. Like we have implementation, or we call end-to-end. We have support, we have upgrade, and we have rollout. Actually, in software companies, the projects that we are working with, they may belong to any of these four. We have implementation, support, upgrade, and rollouts. You are working on a project means it may be any of these four. What is difference? What is meant by implementation? Implementation is nothing but, suppose a company came to you, a client came to you and asked you to build an app for their business. You have to take the requirements from them, and according to the requirements, you need to build one application. So everything you have to build from the scratch one by one. These kind of projects are called as implementation. We call them as implementation, or we call them as end-to-end. End-to-end means you are building a new application for a client. According to his requirements, you are building one application. Everything you have to build from the scratch. After building application, you give that application to client. After giving that application to client, now what happens? Client is using the application. If he gets any problems in that, then we have to resolve. That is called support. That means after implementation, every project goes to support. That means you developed an application and given to client. Is it finished? It's not finished. While client is using that application, if they face any technical problems, we have to resolve them. That is called as support. Suppose you are a senior developer in any software company and you are looking for a job change, and when you are going to work for a new company, in the interview, they will tell you that we are looking for a person for support project. Are you interested in support? What does support means? You don't need to build an application. Already application is built. It is being used. You have to help them in resolving issues. This is not freshers job. Freshers are involved in only one place, that is end-to-end implementation. All other projects are for experienced people. That means if you have experience, then you can work for support. Support generally for a project implementation, development, hundreds of people will be there. But for support, only few people will be there. That means for every project in every country, they may have 2-3 members team. Only 2-3 members team. Those are people who are supporting the project. Now, point is, after implementation, it comes to support. In support, do I need to build application? You don't need to build application. You need to support the application. Then another one is upgrade. Upgrade means we built that application in suppose React 10. Now they want in React 18. That means now what we have to do? We have to change a lot of features from old version to new. That means, are you building a complete software? No, already it is built. We are just upgrading from old version to new. That you can manage by using upgrade. Upgrade is used for upgrading from old version to the new. So that is upgrade projects. We call them upgrade. Sometimes when you are looking for jobs as experienced person, some companies will ask that we are looking for people on an upgrade project. Do you have idea on multiple versions? Because people with experience on multiple versions only can work for upgrades, because they have to upgrade from old version to new. That is very important. That's the reason sometimes companies ask, we want people with React 16 and 18, both versions they mention. If they are mentioning about specific multiple versions, that means it is an upgrade. Until or unless they are not upgrading, they will not mention 2-3 versions of software. Sometimes they will mention 2-3 versions of software. They will not say Angular. They will not say React. They will say Angular 7, 8, 9. They will say React 16, 17, 18, like that. If they are talking like that, that means they are expecting upgrading from one version to another. Now, another option is rollout. What is rollout? Rollout project is nothing but, for example, what we done, we built a project for suppose some Tata company. For Tata, we build an application. So for Tata company, we build an application and their business is in India. For Indian business, we built an application for them. Now the same Tata company is going to expand the business to France. Now will you build another application for that France business? Same business, they are expanding to France. And to maintain the business in France, they need another app. Will you build another app for France business? We don't do that. Generally what we do, because business is same, what we do, we design a template for the application that we built for India. For Indian business, we built an application. For that, we design a template. That template we roll out for France. Template rolling out means what? We will use the same business, but making changes according to France requirements. That means, is everything again built? Everything is not built. Already some features are there. You have to customize according to requirements. This mechanism, this concept is called as rollout. Rollout means you are implementing a project for some another business, means for another location with same kind of business, but have to make some changes. During this rollout period only, many people are sent on site. You heard people go on site. Why people go on site? Summer, winter vacations, huh? For software company, on site means, what is the meaning of on site? On site is nothing but you have to go to client location and work at that location. Now, why you have to go to client location and work at that location? Because project is finished, we given to him, then we need to give some help for few months to those people in their geolocation to work. Because actually what happens is, if you are giving support here, their timings will mismatch, their holidays will mismatch. Our developers need to awake late nights, 2-3 a.m. they have to give support to them. That is risky. Then what client says, you send your expert to our place. Then what your company will do, your company will recommend you, because you already worked on that project for several months and years. Now they will send you to client location so that you can perfectly roll out there. Their team will be there, they will help you, but you will guide them in rolling out application. After rollout is finished, rollout will take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 1 year. After rollout is finished, you come back again to your parent company. If client is very much interested and is very much impressed by your work, then client recommends the company that we will keep him here only. Right? Otherwise, you will come back after the rollout is finished. That is the one of the major reason why people go on site. Why company sends anybody on site? This is one of the main reason. That is nothing but they have to work in the client location with client. Many people are not interested in this actually. Many people are not interested because if this opportunity comes to your team to go on site, your team lead will not go. Your team lead will say that you go. Why he is not interested? Because it's very risky. Very risky because working at client location with client is very risky. Means lot of expertise is required technically. You need to be very sound technically, because there you will have no much help from your people. You will have to work with their people, their working. That will be little difficult, and issues will be coming very quickly, and you need to resolve the issues. Client will be with you and he will be monitoring you. That is more complex. That is the reason many people don't show interest in that immediately, but they give hike in the salary for that on-site period. But still people are not very much interested to immediately go to on-site, because that is little very much riskiest concept. Now what is the point here? We need to develop templates for our project and give the templates to them. In the template, some concepts are already implemented. Some concepts need to be implemented according to client requirements. That is the concept. So how we design a template? How you design template? This is one concept of template. There is another concept of template. Template is used in which location? Templates are used in rollouts actually. Templates are used in rollouts. In most rollout projects, we use templates. Another situation is there. Another situation is nothing but templates are also used in some private module implementations. For example, suppose we are working for a company. Suppose you see So we have like a bank, ICICI Bank. Now for this bank, some company, some Wipro is developing an application. That means for this bank, Wipro is developing an app. Now, bank have lot of its data, which is very private, which they cannot give to these people. Then how to build an app? Remember, bank cannot give all the data. Suppose there is credit cards information, user IDs and passwords information. Bank has lot of such private data. They can't give that data to Wipro. Then how Wipro will develop an app without giving the data? How they will build an app? 100% we will not give. Then how? Point is very simple. What this bank will do is, this bank will ask for template. They will say that all others you build, but this credit card module, give it as a template. Give it as a template. That means you just design a template and give to us. Actually, in ICICI Bank, they appoint a developer. This bank appoints a developer. That developer's responsibility to implement those templates. And that developer is equal to a bank employee. Is equal to a bank employee. These kind of opportunities very rarely come. Very, very rare. Very rarely you will see ICICI Bank directly asking Java developer. You will be surprised. Why ICICI Bank needed Java developer? Very rarely these requirements will come and very few people will apply. Because for such jobs, they need minimum 15 years experienced person. Minimum 15 years experienced software developer only fits for that job. Minimum 15 years software developer. Their salary is also very high. Their packages starts with 60 lakh per annum, 70 lakh per annum. Their package starts with 60, 70 lakh per annum. Very huge, but very risky also. But the point here is they are equal to bank employees. That means they have to implement these modules. Very rarely you will see, if we are lucky, we can find one. For example, you see Naukri site. In Naukri site, suppose I said search here. So I say I'm searching for some ICICI Bank Java developer, something like this. Very rarely you will find such jobs. If there is any such job, we can check once. These are all bank jobs actually. Senior manager relationship, relationship manager. These are all not SaaS developer audit ICICI Bank. You can see here. They are asking for SaaS developer. SaaS SQL. Actually, it is a SaaS SQL. 3 to 8 years experience. Directly bank is asking. You may be thinking, why a bank need a software developer? Why a bank need a software developer? And see, ability in raw data analysis, data warehousing. This is not a complex job. This is very less complicated job. That is the reason they are asking for 3 to 6 years experience actually. You can see, suppose anywhere, these are all branch managers. So because very rarely we will get that like card. This is Java developer. Java, sometimes .NET developers you will see. Very rarely may come. You can check, right? So, but I told you already that it's very rare such jobs will be there. SaaS you have seen, SaaS developer you have seen. You can check later, you can check here. You will see that sometimes ICICI Bank is asking for Java developer. So, or suppose it is some bank like HDFC Bank asking for developer. See, Java developer, HDFC Bank. Java developer for HDFC Bank, and see 30 days ago it is posted. Nobody applied. Still not closed. Because nobody will show interest in that. You may be thinking why, but their packages are very high. They give a lot of money. But the problem is you are the only person to work. That means for entire India, 2 people. That now you can imagine how much complex their role is, how much risky their role is, right? That means only 2 people for entire India. This is very complicated. Such jobs are very complicated. That's the reason even 30 days people are not there, because jobs technically actually they require a lot of risk features involved in that, right? That just I showed you, but sometimes you will see asking 18 years experience, 20 years experience. Now, what is their responsibility? Their responsibility is nothing but the parent company have developed a template. Their responsibility is to implement the templates. That means they give a template, we have to implement the templates. That means already they designed, we have to just put the data, link the data, and we need to customize. That is the responsibility of these developers actually. So templates are used in rollouts and in implementation of modules in various domains, like it can be like finance, it can be like data warehouse. So all such domains requires all such domains, even AI also, artificial intelligence domains. Everywhere you need these people. That means they will not build, but already somebody built, and half they design, and rest of implementation they have to do. So how these templates are designed? So templates are designed by using abstract classes. That is the concept of abstract classes. If anybody asks what is the purpose of interface in object-oriented programming, interface purpose is to create contracts. We discussed that. Architecturally, what is the purpose of interface? To create contracts. And what is the purpose of abstract classes? Abstract classes are used for creating templates. Templates means actually abstract class comprises of methods, so which are already implemented, and a few methods which need to be implemented. And very important, the incomplete methods are marked as abstract. They are marked as abstract. And if a class is having at least one abstract member, then the class is marked as abstract. That is the meaning of actually abstract. If a class is having at least one abstract member, then the class is marked as abstract. That means now see how we work. So we are creating here, first we are creating a class product contract. This is interface. We have product contract. In this interface, we are defining some rules. What are the rules? It will have a name string type. It will have price number type. It will have quantity number type. It will have total, which is a method, which is number type, and print, which is a method void type. These are the members. This is a contract we are having. Now in this contract is being used by a class. Now we have a class called product template. Product template. This class implements this product contract. That class implements product contract. That means we have to design this template according to this contract. According to that contract. That means according to the contract, it should have public name. Name is what type? String. And we will put some data into it. We will put some data into this. Okay. Similarly, we have another public price. It is what type? Number, some 0. And we have another public quantity. It is also number and 0. And very important, total and print are not our responsibility. These are not our responsibility. Their functionality will be implemented by those client people. We are just designing those methods and giving them. The functionality in those methods, it is decided by them. How they want the functionality, they will decide. We will just create these two methods and give them. Implementation, they will do. In that case, we have to write the method public. We need public. What is it? Total. Total is a method which should return what? Number. But it is incomplete. It is not our responsibility. Then we have to mark it as abstract. And when you are defining abstract, this abstract must be before this public. That means abstract like this. And when you are configuring this abstract, you can see, so this abstract, the problem it is saying that if you are having abstract member, that means the class is also abstract. At least one abstract. So if a class having at least one abstract member, then the class is marked as abstract. That means now this class is marked as what? Abstract. That is how we define. Now it says that make sure that this is an public abstract total. That means it is incomplete method. What does abstract means? Abstract means that it is not implemented here. It is your responsibility. It is your responsibility. So we are not implementing the abstract members. Abstract members means incomplete. Incomplete. Only definition we will tell, functionality they will decide. Now similarly, another one public abstract print. This is also their responsibility. This is also their responsibility. So is everything their responsibility to implement? No. Already name, price, quantity we defined. Only the total and print functionality they have to define. Some functionality you may implement. Some functionality they have to implement. If they have to implement any functionality, then we mark it as what? Abstract. And remember, if a class is marked as abstract, then that means it is incomplete class. We cannot create an object for abstract classes. Why we cannot create an object? Because it is not complete. You cannot create an object for abstract class because it is an incomplete class. Because it has several members which are pending, need to be implemented. So an abstract class can have both members which are implemented and which are need to be implemented. Now the question here, How these abstract classes are implemented, means how these members are implemented. So we will create a class product component. This product component have to, now tell me here the point. It should implement this template or it should extend the template. It should implement the template or it should extend the template. This template is a class. This class is already having some features. That class is already having some features. Some additional features we need to add. Some additional features we need to add. In that case, what it has to do? It should extend. Extend which one? Product template. We are extending the product template. Now, when you are extending product template, here you have to just implement which are not implemented. That means what members are not implemented, they are implemented here. Now see now, name I am giving as some Samsung TV. Some price I am giving some price. And the stock I am giving as so some not stock. This is quantity. Quantity I am giving as 2. And the total is a functionality total which we have to implement. What total have to do? It should return this dot quantity into this dot price. Here we are implementing. One more, what we have to do? Print. Print we have to implement. What console.log? It should print all details. Name is equal to, so name is equal to this dot name. And in the next line, we have price is equal to this dot price. In the next line, we have to say quantity is equal to this dot quantity, all these things. Now I want to print total. In the next line, total is equal to, so this dot total, all this we have to define. Now we are configuring this. Now important point here is, now in this component, I am writing quantity as string. It is not taking. Why it is not taking? Why it is not taking? It is saying quantity is, it is type. It is type is what? Quantity is type is number, and which is not assignable? String. Have I mentioned the type here? Have I mentioned the type of that quantity here? I am not mentioning the type of quantity. Then how it is taking that it is number? Huh? How it is taking that it is number? I haven't mentioned type here. Then how it is taking that? It is taking from where? Template. So now what template is having? Template is having the structure. That structure is being implemented and used in your class. That means actually the concept is hiding the structure and giving only functionality to you. That means what we do is we will design the complete structure and we will just give the functionality to you. You have to customize the functionality according to requirement. You don't worry about the structure, because the structure is designed by us and we given you the functionality to implement. That means you just implement the functionality. Total, what it should calculate. Print, what it should print, that you decide. But total must be returning a number and print must be void, that we will decide. People who design templates, they design the structure and give only functionality. So the person who is implementing a template, do he need to design the structure? He don't need to design the structure. He need to just use the structure. Structure is already designed and it is given to you. Structure is already hidden. You have to just use that structure. The process of hiding the structure and giving only implementation to you, this is called abstraction. We call it as hiding. People call as data hiding. It is not data hiding. It is not hiding data. What is data hiding? It is not hiding data. It is hiding data structure. It is actually data structure hiding. So what is the meaning of abstraction? That means the meaning of abstraction is nothing but abstraction is the process of hiding the data structure and providing only the implementation. So it is the process of hiding the data structure and providing only the implementation. Generally, people have a wrong idea and definition about it. People generally call who learns here and there OOP languages, they call data hiding. What is data hiding? You are not hiding any data here. You are not hiding the data. It is not data hiding. It is DS hiding, data structure hiding. That means you are hiding the data structure and you are providing to the application. That means the person who is going to implement your template, he don't need to design the structure. Already structure is designed. He need to just use the structure. While using the structure, if he got any technical issues, then he have to again report to the parent company only. He need to tell that this field is not taking a number. I want this as a number. He can't restructure. You can't restructure. You have to tell this to the parent company saying that you change it and send us. They will change that structure and send us. Again, we will implement with the number. That means the person who is implementing your template, he cannot change the structure of the template that is designed by the parent company and given to you. You have to just implement. You have to just implement. That is the major concept here. So technically, this is everywhere. In every software technology, this process will be there. Even a small concept like suppose you know Excel. Suppose there is a software like Excel. In this software, I want to prepare a bill invoice. I want to prepare a bill for items. How much quantity, total, print, bill, invoice. Actually, I hope you people know we don't need to design bills, invoices. You can go to file menu. You can select new. In the new, they provide here templates. You select a template and you can see they will give a template. So you can see there is a template. So like invoice template is there. I think invoice is not there. Some we have to download. So many will be there. Invoices, you see, invoices you can download, you can connect and you can download those invoices template. Already some templates are there. I will show you. Suppose there is a template called loan calculator. I am selecting this template and say, okay, create. You can see it creates a template for us and give to us. In this, you just enter the loan amount. You enter the loan amount, some 5 lakhs. Annual interest rate, 50,000. Yeah. So this is some 50,000 or 5 lakhs I define. Annual interest rate is suppose 12.23. Loan periods, I will take in years, how many years? Suppose 5 years. And number of payments every year 12 payments. Loan start date, which date? So I will give the current date and it will show you every month how much you need to pay. It will automatically create a complete table, how much every month you have to pay for 5 years. This is a template which is already designed. You have to implement. You have to change the interest format. You have to change the currency format. The basic functionality is ready-made. Just you have to implement this. These kind of templates are required for business. That means the companies, what they do when they are building an application, if you can provide your data to them, they will put the data and design and give it to you. If you say that, no, I can't provide this data, it is very private, then he will say that, okay, let me design a template and give it to you. Then now your problem, you implement it. Then you need to appoint one developer for you who needs to implement all these templates according to your requirements. That's the reason HDFC Bank, ICICI, Axis Bank, they will appoint Java, .NET developers according to their project, in which technology their project is, so that they will be responsible for handling all these templates, right? So they will be direct bank employees. Actually, they will be working on direct bank payroll, right? These are very important points. That means if anybody asks what is the purpose of abstract class, what is the purpose of an abstract class in real world requirement, where do you use abstract classes? Abstract classes are used for designing templates. And where do you use templates? We use templates mostly in two situations: one in rollouts, another one in implementation of modules. These are the major areas of using. That is the main purpose of an abstract, right? Now you can run this here. Now if I want, now what you have to do, so create an app is equal to new which component, product component. Through that app you can access which method, print. Now this is going to print all the details and display. So open here, so tsc index.ts, and we have node index.js, and you can see it is going to print those details here. This is a simple example, so to understand how the classes are implemented and configured. This is abstract, which is not there in JavaScript. In JavaScript we don't have this abstract classes. So in JavaScript we have classes, but we don't have static members, non-static members. We don't have access modifiers. We don't have type definitions, and we have inheritance polymorphism, but no abstraction. Abstraction is not there in JavaScript. Here we have abstraction. That is one concept. Another important is, now we have another concept, that is, so generics. Another important is generics. This is completely new in TypeScript, and the concept of generic is nothing but it is used to design type safe members. Type safe members. It is used to design type safe members. This is very important, and this is the major one you have seen in library. I showed you so many component built-in libraries, all are designed with generics on. Generic plays the key role in this actually. What is type safe members? What is meant by type safe? I will tell you one simple example here. For example, means I will explain a real-time situation you can understand. For example, suppose, so I am defining a simple function. I am creating a function. This function is, suppose print is a function. It have a and b, these are parameters. Now actually, suppose we have parameters a and b. Now what should happen is, initially this print method is having two parameters, and we are expecting these parameters to handle either string or either number. Initially we don't know what type of data will come. We don't know initially what type of data will come, but once we know the type of data which comes, it should not allow any another type. If I given this requirement that initially we don't know what type of data will come, then you will immediately tell that then mention any type. Any type means it can handle any type of value. It can handle any type of value. But once we know the type, it should not allow another type. That means until you pass the data, we don't know. Once the data comes in, we know, and it should not allow other type. That means now what happened here is you mentioned any type, B as any, A as any. Then what happens now? I am passing here print into the 10 and another one is 20. Now what is the type of A and B? A and B type is what? A and B type is number now. You are sending a number into this. The type of A and B is what? Number. But what happened is later into that A, I am assigning string. Will it take? Will it take? Its data type is any. You sent a number. After sending number, you are assigning a string into it. Will it take? It will take. No problem. It will take. For example, here you see here. That means what is the point is, suppose I have a function print and print is having A, what type? Any. Okay. And here I am passing print into that print. We are passing A as 10. That means we are passing A value 10. And here what I am doing is I am accessing A and assigning some alphabet. It's okay. It will take. It will take. But this is not good. That means until I don't know the type, it should be okay. Any type is okay. But once I tell that number, then it should not work for other types. It should work only for number. That means initially a member must be type safe and later it should be strongly typed. How this can happen? Initially it is type safe and later it should be strongly typed. That means so you can configure a type safe member with strongly typed nature. You can do this. You can configure a type safe member with strongly typed nature. We can do that. That means how we can do that? That is possible by using generics. Actually, generics can be defined for parameters. It can be defined for methods. It can be defined for class, and it can be defined even for property. That means a parameter can be generic, a property can be generic, a class can be generic, a method can be generic. What does that mean? I will show you here. See, now how to create generic? It's simple. Actually, I am creating a function print. I want this function ready to handle any type. Then in the angle bracket, you mention type. In the angle bracket, you mention type. In that, we will define A also the same type T. That is how we define. That means this indicates that print method, whenever memory allocated, it is asking a data type. Remember, this T is formal. You can give X, Y, Z any word. You can use any. People even write the word like type. Traditionally, for generic types, data types, we use the word T. We use the character T. It's not necessary that any character you can use. Just it represents data type. That's the reason people have an habit of writing as T. Now, what is the type of A? It's not known. It depends on this function. Now, what happens here is, observe carefully. When I access print, and into the print, while calling the print, I will pass a number into it. When I pass a number into the type, now A is number type. It will not allow others. Now A is number type, strictly number. It will not allow other. That means now I am just passing a number into the 10. Then it is okay. That means suppose I am returning A here. Now, for example, next time I am accessing print method, into that I am passing a string, then A becomes string now. Is it able to take a number now? It is unable to take any numbers because its type is fixed. What type? String. Is it designed for string type? It is not designed for string type, but it is restricting string. So it is type safe and strongly typed. That is the nature of generics. That means we don't know what type of data comes, but once the data comes, we don't allow any another type. That is fixed. Where you need this in real time, where you need this in real time environment, I will tell you one example. Example is nothing but, for example, suppose you are working with database. That means you have an application. This application is using database. It is using database, and database can be any database. It can be MongoDB, it can be Oracle, it can be MySQL, it can be SQL Server. It can be different databases. Now your application have to communicate with the database. So actually you might have observed for MongoDB, we installed MongoDB drivers. Remember? I told you end-to-end application. For MongoDB in Node.js, you have installed MongoDB drivers. For Oracle, you need Oracle drivers. Understood? For MySQL, you need MySQL drivers. For SQL Server, you need MS SQL Server drivers. We need MS SQL Server drivers. That means you need different drivers to communicate with a different database. Now the point is, can't you design one driver which can communicate with all? Can't you design one class which can communicate with any database? That means you need to design a class in such a way that it is open to work with any database. But once you tell that current database Oracle, then it should purely work for only Oracle, not others. Remember, this is a challenge at high level. Even general libraries are not available like that. But TypeScript allows you to create like that. We can create. Several technologies do that. For example, you are seeing this problem in Node.js and all. JavaScript based technologies, this problem will be there. Suppose you know .NET, Java like technologies, those technologies will have only one class which can communicate with any database. They will not have different, the drivers will be different, but one database class will be working for any driver. They don't design several classes. If you know any other technology like .NET and all, because .NET is a technology designed with this TypeScript concept only. C#. I told you Anders Hazelberg. He is the person who developed a language called C# and which is a .NET language, and TypeScript belongs to that family. That means now the point here, everything is generics in Microsoft based technologies actually. And all your React libraries also generics. That means they can't create 100 classes for different purpose. Only one class should work for different. That is possible. We can do like this. Now see, I am creating a class. What is it? Database. In this database class, we are creating a method, public connection method. This connection method should work for any database connection. Then we will make it as generic type. And into that, we will pass connection string. Connection string, it is also generic type. And what we will do is we will use a for where property in connection string. We will print every property and value. That means I will use console.log. We are going to print the property and we are going to print connection string. So we are going to print connection string of property. That means we are going to print both keys and values. And now see what happened. I created a class called database. It have a generic method which can connect with any database. How it can connect with any database? Now see, I am creating some contracts. I am creating contracts interface. One is MongoDB contract. This MongoDB contract connects with the database using a simple URL. And URL is what type? String. I am creating another interface for MySQL. MySQL connects with the database by using host, which is string type. By using user is a string type. By using password is a string type. By using database, which is a DB name, so which is a string type. These are all the requirements for a MySQL to connect. Suppose I am using an interface for Oracle. This connects with username, which is a string type. It connects with password, which is a string type. And it connects with the database, which is a string type. Now what we are doing here is we are creating simple. I am creating let ORA is equal to new database. Now, as of now, I want my application to communicate with Oracle database. Then how to do? To communicate with Oracle database, then ORA can access connect method. Into the connect method, we will pass Oracle contract. When we pass Oracle contract, then it will be working only for Oracle connection. And you see the connection string is what type? Oracle type. Suppose in this I am passing some host. It is not accepting. That means I am typing host. It is not accepting. Because Oracle connection don't have host. What Oracle connection is having? It is having username. Username is Scott. It is having password. Password is Tiger. And it is having database name. Database name is EMPDB something. This is how it connects. And I want to print that connection. That means just what this connect will do is it will print all these details. Now, similarly, this is what console.log. I will put a message saying with connection with Oracle. Now my application have to connect with, I am writing another one. Okay. My application have to connect with, so MySQL. I will give here, so connection with MySQL. My application have to connect with MySQL. I don't need another class. Same database class will work. And in that same database class, MySQL can use directly connect method. Into that, I will pass MySQL contract and it will work only for MySQL connection. That means connect is only one method which is open for any database in the world. And you tell the database contract, it will work only for that database. That means now it will not accept anything else other than MySQL. That means what should be the object contains? The object contains what? The object contains host. Host is some local host. Object contains user. User is some root. Object contains password 1234 something. Object contains some DB name. DB name is suppose STUDB something. This is only one method working for different situations. And remember, once it is working for Oracle, it cannot accept anything else other than Oracle. It is type safe and it is strongly typed. This is the nature of generic. Now, when I run this, you can see it is going to print all the details. So TSC index.ts, and we have node index.js. We have node index.js, and you can see it is going to print all the details. Connection with Oracle, connection with MySQL. That means you don't design multiple classes. We will design only one class with only one method, which can work for everyone. That is the nature. And now actually, this is very, very important in designing user-defined components. We learned how to create our own components like grid, if you remember. I told you, grid can pass data of employee, grid can pass data of product. We designed a grid component. Now, how we have to restrict that grid to work for only employee? And how we can make the grid to change itself to work only for product? That means actually, if you remembered, I think we designed one grid component. You remember? I have to open that project there. Yeah. You remembered in this shopper template? I think not in shopper template. Old project. We had an old React application where we created a grid component. Shopping React. Yes, it is shopping React. In this, you remembered we designed a grid component. Where is components? Grid component we designed. Yeah. In this grid component, you can see you created a function. Now, these properties of the function can be currently any type. They can be any type. The properties can be any type. Now, what we will do, we make it as a generic type. Understood? Properties of generic type. What does that means? While accessing the component, you tell employee. That means now properties will work only for employee. You say product, it will work only for product. This is specialty of generic. This makes your user-defined components more better, more perfectly strongly typed. Because user-defined components are not strongly typed. That is a big headache. Because you mentioned properties, you remembered actually in the properties, there is theme name. Suppose I mentioned that dot some ABC, it is not showing any error. If I write ABC, it is not showing any error. Why it is not showing any error? Because it doesn't know that there is a theme property in that. Now, if I make strongly typed, what will happen? If I make strongly typed and instead of password, I am passing PWD, it will not take. It will not accept that property because it knows that the Oracle connection requires password, not PWD. This is exactly known now. This is exactly known. That is what actually the concept. This is not there earlier when you are designing your own components. Lot of problem you have to face. You need to check the capitalization. You need to check the spelling. You need to verify the property name correctly given or not. Now you don't have any problem. While typing itself, it will warn you saying that there is no property by this name. That's simple. That means it says that in this component, there is no property by this name. Which property that component takes, it is clearly known to everyone. It is strongly typed. That is the nature. That is the nature of generic. That is the concept of generic. Here, what I mentioned as generic, Here what I mentioned as generic, I mentioned parameter as generic and I mentioned method as generic. Parameter is generic, method as generic. That means here you can see what are generic defined. This is parameter na. Parameter is what type? Generic. Here method is also what type? Generic. Parameter is generic, method is generic. You can create complete class as generic. You can create complete class as generic. For example, if you define class as generic, that means you see now, suppose I am creating a class service. This service class is generic. If the class is generic, the memory allocated for the class is generic. That means in the constructor now, I am using suppose data which is of that type. And what I have to do is I will print for where property in what data. We need to print console.log. We want to print the property and we want to print. So we want to print here data of sorry. Here we want to print data of what property. We want to print the detail. Now you see class is generic. For example, now we have two types of data. One interface. This is product type data, which contains name, string type, and which contains price, number type. And we have another interface. This is some student related data. In this, we have first name, which is string type, and email. This is also string type. Now, what happens is this service can work for, I am creating LET, some TV is equal to new service. Into the service, we pass a product type contract. Then now it can accept only product type data. That means entire memory of that class is product type. The memory of that is product type. That means now the constructor is that type. Not only constructor, for example, you see, so that means I need to provide that data. That product data contains name, that is, so some name, I said some Samsung TV, and we have some price, and the price is some price. That's how we define. And very important, here I created a property called details. Details is a generic type. And or it is in a null type, and it is initialized with what? Null, like this. Now what happens here? We are accessing tv.details. tv.details is equal to, you can see what the details to be passed into it. Now you can see the details is what type? The details is product type or null. That means even the property is generic type. The property is generic type. The constructor memory is generic type. That means you need to pass what type? Only product. In that you need name, and in that you need price. These details you need to define. That means you created a complete class as generic. Now I am creating another some John and is equal to new service. It is of what type? Some student type. Then it will accept only student details. That is first name, last name. Now, very important here, first name and we have last name. So last name, this is last name. What is that? First name is only there. Email, yeah. So email, only these details are present there. Now, John.details is equal to, you can see it is details either student or null. That means your entire class is generic. So class can be generic, a property can be generic, a method can be generic, a parameter can be generic. That is the main intention of generic. What is advantage? You don't need to write several members classes for that. One class and one method can work for everybody. That means you want to create a service to consume data, to create a service for consuming data. So actually, if you have observed, fetch method, fetch is inbuilt designed with generic. You see fetch, what type of data it can fetch? Any type. It can be object, it can be array, it can be array of objects. That means you see, actually, this is a promise, generic type response. It's a generic type response. Generic type response means it will not know what type, but once it knows array, response will be array. If it knows that it is an object, response will be object. Inbuilt libraries are built with this generic concept. Right, this is very important. So to build libraries at high level, we need to understand the concept of generics. Right, these will play the very key role in designing TypeScript application, React application with TypeScript. Generic plays key role in state management, and everywhere we used use state. Majority we use generics for configuring the type, because use state. So when it is consuming data from APIs and all, we don't know what type of data will come, but it should work for any kind of data. These are very important, right? One more concept is there, enums, that we'll see tomorrow. Then we can tomorrow create an application with TypeScript. Tomorrow we will see how to create a React application with TypeScript and what are changes between TypeScript and JavaScript. If you observe the changes, you can build entire application in the same way. Few type changes only you need to understand. That we'll see tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we will see how to build a React application with TypeScript. Right.